Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to begin into the best show, the comfort show, One Piece. Hope you all are having a really good day wherever you're at in the world. It's pretty early here again. You know, you guys know me, classic. I'm just drinking some coffee first in the morning and watching some anime. What a way to wake up and start your day. But yeah, I've been excited to get back into the Dressrosa arc. I feel like we're getting close to the Luffy and Doflamingo fight finally. I mean, I guess we've had a little bit of them fighting. We saw Doflamingo bop, or not Doflamingo. We saw Luffy bop Doflamingo. We've definitely seen Doflamingo bop a few people, such as Law and his RIP arm. But yeah, just to recap, you know, characters and the points last time we gave MVP, or the most valuable player, most valuable character, to Zoro for slicing up goddamn Pica in his high-ass voice. Glad Pica's gone. Great shit, Zoro. Thank you for that. Best moment went to the citizens and kind of King Riku, you know, standing together, you know, kind of rejoining as a collective, as a nation. I really loved that moment a ton. If y'all didn't see the last reaction, go check out what I said about that. And lastly, for the funniest moment, God Usopp himself. God Usopp is so funny. I love all of Usopp's little character types, like Sogeking the sniper, and now he's God Usopp. Always pretty funny to see. But yeah, before we get into the reaction, if y'all have been following along for a while, or you're new here and you want to follow along for more, do me a favor. If you guys want to support me in any way, hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment, etc. Do all the YouTube stuff for me. And I appreciate y'all being here to spend your time with me. I know y'all could be spending your time doing anything else, and it means a lot to me that you're here. So thanks for that. With that being said, let's go ahead and get in the reaction. Oh, that sword cutting sound sounds so good. So satisfying. Yeah, get out of here, Pica. I want Zoro to wear this suit for forever. Or maybe I need to get an outfit like that. Is your sword for good? Oh, backstory, let's go. Even it's the same sword. Become the Black Blade. This is awesome. I want so much more backstory on what he did for his training. More, please. That's so funny, though. No more drinking. Mihawk knows how to motivate Zoro. Dude, look at that. Let's go, dude. Man, that was so epic. Punch! Dude, this Admiral's so cool. I love his power. Panhead, he's back. We gotta give him the MVP. Yeah, trust the Admiral, man. So can he, like, I don't know if they really explained his power, but it's like he controls the gravity of it or something? Damn, the city's a mess. Zero casually, that's impressive. Yeah, it must have been crazy to see. He was lost during that time, I think.
結果陸王を守れたからよしとするが
Zoro senpai.
陸王様
Robin knew Zoro could handle it. Oh, the factory. Let's go. Bye bye, sad. Dude, they're so strong. It's like ants. Have the crazy relative body strength. Well, whether they beat Doflamingo or not, Kaido's gonna be pissed.
Pica もやられ、工場も吹き飛んだぞ、ドフィ。も復活する。工場も再生する。ぬか喜んでいろ。こっちにはチューチューの実の能力者
fruit?
マンシェリーがいるのだ。
Nope. She's been saved. Ooh, the heal fruit. I wonder if they'll be able to heal Law's arm. Like, it can never replace limbs and stuff, or I wonder how like strong the heal fruit is. This is so gallant. I love it. Oh, let's see it.
君がマンシェリー姫だな。君の能力の話はよく聞いていたが。
Yep. Do tell, do tell.
私には使わないでくれ。大丈夫。意識もある。まず君が無事でよかった。
Dude, Kyrus is such a beast.
能力を使ってくれる気なら、それを必要とする人たちは
Dude,
国中にいる。
such a good guy. Man. Yeah, there's the nation. At war with itself. Man, the scale Dressrosa has been so awesome. Like, them first entering this city at the beginning of the season and it being so beautiful, like, and now look at it.
だが工場の破壊にも成功したようだ。戦いはもう正念場。
インヘルたち、うまくやったみたいですね。
ドフラミンゴの罠によって奪われたこの国を陸王の手に取り戻せるか、再び絶望の国へと転落するか。希望は今。
Not just some pirates, the pirates, the Straw Hats, Mugiwara.
あの王宮の最上階で。
Oh, are we gonna start seeing the fight?
ローランド。
Lolando.
ルフィ。トラオ君。
Try guy. All the little nicknames are so funny. Banana. Banana. Who's this? Oh, okay. I forgot her name though.
コロシアムの逃げ遅れた囚人たちを逃がしているとこだ。そっちまでは遠すぎるよ。お前一人でなんとかならねえことなんてそうそうないだろ。
そうなら連絡しないよ。ルビー君に被害が及ぶかも。
すぐ行く。
He's gotta be there for his brother, man. God, Sabo coming back. I should have seen that coming, but man, I love it. After losing Ace, it was a perfect way to bring back a character. He's literally climbing the whole statue. Why am I worried right now? A standing ovation for the hero. Hey, MVP, MVP.
海賊ありがとう。あんな巨像を刀で切るなんて。
Yeah, it's dope as hell.
待て待てお前ら。喜んでいいのはこの息の詰まりそうなカゴが消えた時だろう。
Zoro's a realist, that's for sure. Dude, birdcage, such a cool ability. Scale of Doflamingo's power. Yeah. I wonder how Zoro would fare against Doflamingo. Ugh, back to freaking Bellamy, man. I can't believe this dude. Man, Luffy's taken so much unnecessary damage because of him.
ベラミー、なんでそこまでする？お前ミンゴに騙されて利用されてんだぞ。お前を自由にしてやるって言ったけど。
もう十分だベラミ。自由にしてやるよ。今まで通りな。
お前が逃げずに俺と戦って死のうとすること、あいつ分かってたんじゃねえのか？
Yeah, Mingo, such a good villain.
それがどうした？俺はあの人を尊敬している。死に方だけでも認めてもらえるんなら
I mean,
本望だ。
嘘つけ！こうするしかねえだろ。男だもんな。
yeah.
そこまで分かってんだら黙って戦え。
でも無駄死にだ。
いや、本望さ。
Damn, dude. I feel bad for Bellamy.
俺が憧れた男にインドを渡されるんならな。
By another man that I admire. Is he talking about Luffy there? God. Man, when he landed the punch on Bellamy back in that season, oh yeah, right here, one of the best moments ever. I hated Bellamy so much. Yeah, the indentations on his head. Oh, that's fucking dope.
おい麦わら、どこ行くんだ？
空。
I think he does admire Luffy now.
何言ってんだ。ベラミーは変わった。変わったよ、ベラミー。友達だ。
ありがとうよ、麦わら。俺の喧嘩を買う気がねえんなら、俺がお前を殺すまでだ。
Damn, dude. Got my feels a little bit from that Bellamy backstory.
覚悟するんだな、麦わら。この一撃で終わりにするぞ。何つったってる。構えろ、臆病者。お前がもしパンチの打ち方を知ってるんならな。
If you know how to throw a punch. That's a good throwback.
ミンゴ、麦わら、死ね。
Here we go again. Man, the parallels.
友達と呼んでくれて。
Wow. That was extremely well written. I really loved that. Very sad though, very sad. Yeah, poor Luffy.
分かってんだ。憧れる男を間違えたことも、己の惨めさも。間抜けには間抜けなりの貫くべき筋ってもんがあんだよ。
Damn. Yeah, channel that rage, Luffy.
猛獣が
The beast is roaring.
さっさと上がってくるがいい。驚くだろうな、ロ
Oh shit.
あいつがお前の死体を見ちまったら。
Fuck, dude, he's riddled with bullets, man. Dude, Law better not fucking die. I'd be pissed. He's such a good character. All right, we gonna get some Mingo time?
麦わらがベラミーを倒したわ。これでドン・キホーテファミリーの強敵は2人にまで減った。残るは最高幹部。
Yeah, but it's like the two strongest, yeah. I wonder who's gonna take out Treble, like...
ゾロのはゾロの言う通り。
Yeah, we need Luffy to get a one-on-one with Mingo. He can't be taken on two.
もうすぐ。
あ と一息でこの悪夢が終わるのか。
そんな。
どうなされました、ビオラ様。
It's about law or
こちらの戦力も減ってしまったわ。
dude, her power is so useful. She's honestly been really clutch this season.
誰だよ。
トラファルガーローよ。
Trafalgar Law.
ロードのが
Loom. I wonder why Treble has the little ankle cuffs around him. His fucking laugh, dude.
驚くだろうな、ロー。
Yeah, you think?
お前の死体を見ちまった。
Dude, he looks messed up. I ain't gonna believe he's dead until he's actually dead, though.
もう休め、ロー。
The Doflamingo walk.
十分思い知った。どんな小細工を浪しても埋められない力の差を俺一人にもかなわねえお前がなぜ俺たち二人に挑む。麦わらはそう簡単には来ない。友達を即刻ぶち殺す気概があれやお前を救えた。
Friend in quotes.
とんだおまちゃん野郎だからね。対するだけ無駄無駄無駄。つくづく不憫なやつだ。白い町という地獄に生まれ未来などただの暗闇だった幼少期。
Yeah.
それから俺の弟ゴラソンに出会い寿命を引き延ばされるも
Good old Corazon.
復讐のために生きてきた。バカだよ。死んだ男のために力を磨き麦わらと組んでドレスローザまで来ると。
Yeah, he's did a lot of harm.
だが
Yeah, Doflamingo, you'll make a lot of enemies like that.
実に意味のない13年間だったな。同情するよ。間違いなく死ぬ。救いのねえ犬死にだ。どうせ死ぬんだ。利のある最後にしな。お互いにとって有意義な話だ。一度しか言わねえからよく聞けよ。トラファルガーディ。
Said his full name.
俺にオペオペ究極の
Oh.
不老手術を施し、そして死ね。
No.
それと引き換えに俺はお前の望みを何でも叶えよう。そりゃいい。
So is it eternal youth basically? Like, can he die still, or is it just like he can't die of old age?
何でも。そう。それが本心なら明暗だな。互いに利がある。
I would not trust him at all.
よし。
Really?
物分かりいいね。これでついにドフィーに永遠の命が。じゃあ今すぐコラさんを蘇らせてくれ。それができたこの国の国民全員の結論
Like the butts.
叶わない。期待が無駄。笑わせるな。状況が分かってねえのはてめえの方だ、ドフラミンゴ。麦わらの位置。
Wow.
これまであら
The throwback to Water 7, man. Or Eni's lobby.
麦わら屋を倒せねえ。あいつからシーザーを取り返すこともできやしねえ。
Law believes in Luffy, man.
お前ドフィー相手によくもそんなこと。てめえの未来こそすでに風前の。
Well said, Law.
愚かな野郎だ。どこまでも逆らいやがって。
Why do you think he's rebelling against you? Because you're a shit-ass person.
その背中の文字コラソン。何への当てつけだ。そもそもてめえのハートの海賊団の名は何への当てつけだ。
Aiming the satire out.
つまらねえお前がなぜハートを背負ってんだ。
Damn. He wants to keep shooting him. Damn, he's pissed, dude.
まいましいキョラさんこれでもうくだらねえ執念を引き継ぐやつはてめえらの呪縛もここまでだ
Damn, bro.
嘘だろ
あれだけの銃弾を浴びたらとても
I wonder if can the Op forgive themselves eternal life? What's Riku gonna do?
予断を許さない状況であるのならなおさら危険にさらされている民を救わねばならん。はい行きましょう。俺も一緒に行きます。
Stand with your king.
今からでも犠牲者は減らすことができる。
戦えなくてもできることはあるよな
It's a good way of looking at it. Damn, Mingo's a rage, bro. He's gonna be just as angry as Luffy.
ドフェまあいいオペオペの実はまた手に入れればいい
I mean, to find the flame fruit pretty quickly.
じゃああとは全てに始末をつけよう
Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Is he about to do something with the birdcage? Here we go. I'm nervous.
遅かったな麦わら俺が解放してや
Emancipated. Get the hell out of here, bro.
ベラミーは自由になれたろ
とぼけるなお前は知ってたんだ
Elephanto gone.
ゴムゴムのエレファントガン
馬のすがきそうかベラミーは逃げなかったのか
Spider web, dude.
何笑ってんだ ゴムゴムの
Dude, let's go.
バトリング
Have we seen Hawk Gatling before? It's not gonna be that easy, Luffy. Oof. Oh no.
おいドラオなんだこの血の量
Dude, Luffy's gonna be so pissed.
しっかりしろドラオおいドラ
死んでるよ見りゃわかるだろ
オ嘘だ
う嘘じゃねえずいぶんお前を信頼してるようだったのにな
Oh my god.
敵を見せてくれるんだ
Dude.
麦わら戦っても強そうには感じなかったが
You didn't think you were strong.
二人いるぞ
よくもお前ら
I'm nervous.
よしキリト
Damn, with the blood on it. Man, dude, how's Luffy gonna handle this, bro?
ドウェイパー嘘効果
Holy shit.
なんだそりゃ
Ooh, that's so cool.
ゴムゴム
Dude, he looks like Bellamy.
ブレンドベレッタ
What? Oh, he can double up the web? Come on, Luffy.
惜しかったな
Bro, shit is stressing me out. I'm so nervous.
どうかなされましたか。いや
It's already quiet. Oh, yeah. Dude. That's not good.
どうしたいや気のせいか やっぱり動いてる。そんな糸の壁が縮んでるぞ。すぐにローの後を追わせてやる。ゲーム終わらせよう。待て。よく聞け。麦わらや。
Oh, he's not dead. Not dead yet. All right, good episode, man. I wonder if he's like, Law's gonna have some kind of like weakness of Mingo that he can share or something. All right, y'all, episodes 720 and 721 of One Piece. Man, really, really good episodes. I have to say that these two together, especially 720, was some of my favorites of this whole season so far. Let's kind of go sequentially as we go. We'll get into the character writers probably towards the end, but there's a lot to talk about. You know, one thing I want to shout out very quickly that I really loved in 720 was just a quick little flashback that gave us a little bit of Mihawk and Zoro's training. I've honestly been super curious about, you know, what training went into that, where Zoro and Mihawk stand today, because Zoro's character arc, you know, his journey with following his dream to be the best swordsman has always been really centered around Mihawk. And when Zoro had to have so much humility to ask Mihawk to train him because he knew he needed to get stronger, it was such a huge moment. And I don't know how Zoro's dream and his goal has changed, like if he's ever gonna end up confronting Mihawk down the line, but I thought it was really interesting that he ended up taking him on as a pupil instead, right? Mihawk taking Zoro on here and getting just a little bit of some backstory about, you know, how he taught him and how, you know, it's kind of come into play with this fight against Pica was, I love that. I always love the backstory. One Piece is really good at giving you that when you need it, and this was no different, even though it was super quick. But we basically get, you know, backstory and how Mihawk taught Zoro that you can use clad hockey on your sword so that they don't chip, right? Like the you know, comment Mihawk says is like, you've probably broken your swords before, and Zoro's like, yeah, you broke my swords, man. I thought that was pretty funny. But, you know, he teaches Zoro that, hey, if you're using clad hockey, you can use it on your swords and they won't get chipped from what you're slicing, right? And obviously that came into play with Pica. But yeah, really cool flashback. I suspect that we're gonna get a lot more of their backstory at some point for their training. I'm sure we'll get more backstory from everybody's trainings at some point, but also really funny moment, and it was when, you know, he's explained this and he's like, all right, we're gonna teach you, you can't drink until you've mastered it. I thought that was really funny. We all know Zoro loves his alcohol. Zoro's reaction, he's like, what, are you kidding me? That was really funny. Really enjoyed that moment. We also see that the factory is finally destroyed. You know, Doflamingo doesn't seem super worried about it, but I mean, it's kind of the whole original plot line of the Dressrosa arc was that they were going to destroy this sad factory like they did on Punk Hazard, right? And that would start a war between Kaido and Doflamingo, since Doflamingo provides the sad fruits to Kaido and his army. You know, I know that that's not really the plot line anymore. You know, they all want to beat Doflamingo because of just how evil he is. It's personal at this point, right? I mean, it's kind of been personal for Law for a long time, but Luffy and the Straw Hats have sided with Law, and they want to take out Doflamingo just themselves at this point. Doesn't matter if Kaido does it, they want to do it. But it gets me thinking about Kaido himself, right? And Kaido, if I remember correctly, at least from what I remember, the first time he's mentioned is when Luffy is facing Moria, and Moria talks about how Kaido is the one who defeated him in the New World, and that's why Moria is coming back to build this big shadow army. And, you know, I'm curious when Kaido is going to kind of come into the picture here. You know, they definitely have set up a pretty big plot line to come through this, because Kaido is probably going to come after them. You know, maybe he's going to blame them instead of Doflamingo if Doflamingo gets defeated, right? And I don't know if that's going to be the next plot line in One Piece, or if there's going to be a couple arcs in between that confrontation, but I'd imagine that's going to come into play at some point soon, and that's going to be really interesting. Even just seeing more of the sad fruits and you know, the devil fruit powers of all the people underneath him, it's probably gonna be another crazy big arc that's gonna have huge scale to it, and that's really exciting to think about. Another really good moment that I liked was with Leo and Mancheri, I think I'm saying that right, meeting back up with Robin and Kiros, Rebecca, and you know, we get a little bit of some foreshadowing here, I guess, that, you know, Mancheri's power has some limitations to it, right? I think most devil fruits do, but you know, she's gonna use her powers on Kiros, and Kiros is like, no, don't use it on me. I'm assuming there's some limitation to your power. Use it on the people who really need it in this country. And I feel like that's probably foreshadowing to there being some, you know, obviously some limitation to her power, but maybe there's gonna have to be a choice for the people that she has to save. I don't know what that's gonna look like, but for example, Law is on his last legs, right? He's been shot multiple times, his arm's cut off. You know, I can foresee that maybe she would save Law's life if he's still alive at the point that she gets to him. Maybe she'll have to choose between him and somebody else. Maybe Luffy will get really hurt. Who knows what it's gonna be, but there's definitely a good setup here, a good potential for the author to kind of have the characters make a really tough decision. You know, what kind of comes to mind here a little bit is Attack on Titan, and sorry, this is a spoiler, if you haven't seen Attack on Titan, skip past this part, but you know, the scene where Levi has to choose who to save in season 3. I won't say the names just in case if anyone's listening who hasn't seen it. It's one of the best parts of the whole show. But you know, introducing that moment or the opportunity or that, you know, that plot line is a really interesting one, because it'd be such a tearing decision to make as a person. So we'll see if that comes into play, but bare minimum, there's gonna be some restrictions to her power, and you know, that's probably gonna come into play. You know, I said this in the reaction, but something that I've really been appreciating so much about this arc is, you know, as like we were seeing the whole city and it, you know, it on fire and in ruins, like it just made me think about where we began with Dressrosa. You know, even just back at Pug Hazard getting flashes to Doflamingo and what Dressrosa looked like. I remember talking to my girlfriend at the time saying that, like, I thought Dressrosa was such a beautiful city. Like, it looked like a really, you know, beautiful place to live. Everyone seemed happy, they appeared happy, you know, there's all these toys going around and stuff. And it's interesting to come into the arc with that perspective of it being a really beautiful town, and then the layers slowly getting peeled off, and you seeing the travesty of this country, you know, how dark it really is, and then this whole battle that explodes from it, and just how grand the scale of it is is. I feel like it's been super impressive. It's felt really natural too to me. Like in some past arcs, for example, maybe Skypiea or even Water 7 at times, like there'd be certain plot lines that would happen to extend the arc out that just didn't really feel supernatural. Like what comes to mind is like Water 7 when, you know, Luffy and Zoro get like flung out into the town when like the whole water surge is coming and they get stuck and like people are trying to find them. It just kind of feels like a plot device to, you know, extend the story out a bit longer, and doesn't feel as natural, versus Dressrosa, which has like really felt like they're peeling the layers of the onion more and more, and it feels more natural. And that's why I haven't really ever complained about the pacing so far. Like I don't know, it's just all been worth it, you know, like nothing seems super unnecessary. You know, a lot of people complain about Skypiea as well, where, you know, the battle kind of takes forever, you know, it gets extended out. But in Dressrosa, like, I don't know, like most of the bad guys I've cared about, like we got backstory of Senor Pink and others, and it's just been really well done. It's, for me at least, probably the best rounded arc there's been in terms of, you know, what's happened, you know, all the different various plot lines in the arc and kind of how it's wrapping up. It's been so good to me. Something I really liked in this episode too is we get a little foreshadowing here from 720 into 721 where, you know, all the citizens are cheering for Zoro for saving them and everything, but Zoro's like, hey, listen, like we can't we can't celebrate until this cage is gone. And he's kind of looking at it menacingly. And like, at the time, I didn't really think that there'd be any more to it. I'm like, okay, yeah, we got to defeat Doflamingo still. But little do we know, next episode, Doflamingo starts shrinking the cage, right? And obviously, that's pretty freaking crazy. I mean, those things are, you know, as sharp as swords, as, you know, harder than swords. And if he could just shrink it, people are gonna get cut up. And it kind of makes me think of like a battle royale where the circle keeps shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. That would be a terrifying way to die. I also asked this too, you know, during the review, is like, you know, how is Luffy going to be able to take on Treble and Doflamingo at the same time? And I feel like this might be what happens. I don't know. This is kind of just a theory. We get a little scene with Sabo getting called from her comrade. And I don't remember her name, but basically she's like, hey, like, you know, you might need to help Luffy. And he's like, I'll be there. So maybe Sabo ends up coming and he fights Treble and Luffy fights Doflamingo. I don't feel like Sabo would be the one to fight Doflamingo. I think this is Luffy's fight at this point. But I don't know, I feel like some other character has to come into play here or else Luffy's gonna be overwhelmed. Like as strong as Luffy is, Doflamingo is the guy to beat, you know? Like it's not Luffy that's the guy to beat, it's Doflamingo. So I don't, you know, I feel like another character has to come into play here. But man, let's talk about my favorite moment of 720, but probably these 2 episodes in general, and that's the conclusion to Bellamy's little arc here. You know, I mentioned it in, I don't know if it was last video or the video before, but Bellamy's kind of like plot line here, his little redemption arc, has kind of been like annoying me because he still is persistent on fighting Luffy even after Doflamingo has set him free. I feel like this character arc has been really interesting to think about, you know, what freedom means to Bellamy, what his free will is at this point. You know, he keeps telling Luffy that he's fighting him because he still admires Doflamingo and that he's a man of his principles and he wants to choose how he goes out, basically, right? Like he kind of is a tragic character at this point and he doesn't necessarily want to go on living, he just wants to end it on his own terms. But really the whole thing about Doflamingo, him still respecting Doflamingo, ends up being kind of a facade. It's a misdirect to try to just get Luffy to fight him. Because really what Bellamy cares about is that he wants it to end by the man that he admires, which is Luffy now. And the flashback to after Luffy punches him the first time, then him seeing the shadow of Luffy in Skypiea, I don't think we've seen that before. And I love that part, you know, just, you know, the flash of Luffy saying that he's gonna go to the sky and then him seeing the shadow and just the shock in his face. You can see that the admiration is changing. You know, you can see, you know, the shock that he sees and the awe that he sees in Luffy in that moment. And we, you know, even earlier in this season or in this arc, you know, Bellamy tells Luffy that he went to Skypiea and like he's like kind of grinning about it. So you can tell that he did take inspiration from Luffy even before they met back up again. And I love that. I love that so much. I mean, that's such a classic Luffy moment. His character is so great because he inspires the people around them so much and helps them be them true selves. And there's nothing more beautiful than that. I mean, that's like what you want in a friend, is a friend who, you know, helps bring that out of you. It's really hard to be authentic to yourself and to follow your dreams, and a friend that inspires you to do that and is encouraging, I mean, there's not much more you can ask for, right? And we see that even expand more when, you know, we get flashes of the words that Luffy has said to Bellamy in this arc and how it's, you know, instilled that even more, right? Him saying that Bellamy has changed and telling him not to give up, telling him that he's his friend, right? Like all those probably, you know, instilled the belief in Bellamy even more that this is the person I admire more. It's Luffy. Luffy's the person I admire now. And even though Bellamy is kind of, it's irrational that he does have free will to choose and like he could just walk away and that's what Luffy wants him to do. He wants him to save himself. He is the free will to choose, you know, to abide by the principles that he has to continue to fight and to have it end by the hands of Luffy, the person he admires. And it's just really, really well done too, because all the flashbacks to their first fight and it being, you know, there's so many parallels here between the first fight and this fight, from the fist going up, the punch that he delivers. I mean, it was all so well done, and it's not something that I really expected to enjoy as much as I did, but you know, kudos to Oda here. I thought this was really well written and a really interesting way to write Bellamy's character. All right, let's jump to episode 721, where we finally get Luffy versus Doflamingo. Get some action in here. You know, obviously been anticipating more of this fight, and you know, it seems like we're about to get into the heat of it these next few episodes as well. But you know, we really get a flashback to why Law has been shot so many times. You know, he's basically been defeated by Doflamingo in Treble, and Doflamingo tries to make a deal with Law, saying, hey, if you use the ultimate technique of the op fruit, devil fruit power, I think it's called perpetual youth surgery. You know, he tries to make a deal for Law to use that on him, because that's why, you know, Doflamingo wanted the op fruit in the first place. But, you know, if he uses on him, he'll grant Law any wish he wants. And Law's like, okay, yeah, that sounds good to me. And he kind of spins it on Doflamingo though and says, okay, well, my wish is for you to bring Corazon back, and then for you to lick the butts of all the citizens in this country. And I thought it was a good way for him to spin it back on Doflamingo and be like, listen, you have no leverage to be able to barter with, right? If you're taking away from people constantly and taking away permanently, you can't barter with them later on. You have nothing to give them anymore. You've taken away everything permanently. Like, you can't barter with that. And you can see the frustration in Doflamingo. You know, he just unloads on Law multiple bullets because he's so, you know, upset with him. He's so angry. I think part of that too, like the anger it instills, is like the trust that Law has put in Straw Hat. You know, he says how, you know, he believes in the Straw Hats and the miracles that they've done, and that he believes that Doflamingo can't handle Luffy. Luffy is going to beat him. And the final straw that really makes Doflamingo angry is seeing Corazon on the back of Law's jacket. And we get a little bit of exposition about the heart pirates, or I guess like this theme of a heart, right? Like, Law's name of his pirate crew was the Heart Pirates, which I don't even really remember that. But it makes sense for Law's kind of devil fruit power and him being able to take people's heart out. But I think there might be something more going on here, because Doflamingo says you don't sit on the heart seat. And he asks him who he's aiming this satire at. And then he's like, he also asks, why are you bearing the mark of the heart? So I'm imagining that there's something more to what this heart is. You know, the heart seat, for example, is that like a throne? Is that something specific to, you know, this world? What's the mark of the heart supposed to be? Is that supposed to be some organization? You know, it's very interesting. Was Corazon part of that? I'd imagine that that's something that we're gonna get more of, but it's making me, you know, super curious about what there is all to this. But you know, after that, after he unloads on Law, you know, he starts to pull in the cage, and Luffy finally gets up to the rooftop, and we start the fight between them. Off the bat, you know, Luffy comes out guns blazing. You know, he's going full force. He's using Gear 3 with armament hockey and just going, you know, trying to go crazy on Doflamingo. But Doflamingo uses like the spider web technique, and this seems very strong defensively. Like, it's stopping all of Luffy's blows. He's gonna have to find a good way to get past that. But it seems like he's kind of already figuring out ways to do that. Like, he uses his other arm to jump across it and get behind him. So, you know, Doflamingo definitely isn't immortal. He's got weaknesses that Luffy's gonna have to figure out. And I thought one really cool part too was when Luffy's using Gear 2 and armament hockey on his legs, and he's using like the spring power that Bellamy has. Like, he sees that and he kind of adopts that with his gum fruit power. And I thought that was such a little call out to Bellamy, especially with his, you know, his arc kind of just wrapping up here. And you can see the shock in Doflamingo and Treble's faces. They're like, what's he doing? Like, they kind of recognize that power, right? And I thought that was really, really well done. But we end up on a pretty big cliffhanger here, right? Like, the cage is coming in. Obviously, all the citizens are gonna probably have to, like, you know, gather in a really, really small area. And I bet it's gonna come down to the wire, right? Like, literally, you know, Luffy defeating Doflamingo is on a time clock now. Like he's got to do before this shrinks in, or everyone's gonna die. And you know that's just gonna motivate Luffy more as he sees that, and maybe other characters are gonna have to end up helping out. And then also the big cliffhanger at the end is Law is alive, and he tells Luffy to wait before he kind of explodes in rage. He says, "Wait, I need to tell you something, right?" I think that Law is gonna have tell him some kind of quick strategy, or maybe he knows some weakness of Doflamingo here. There's a reason that he's still alive and that he's about to tell Luffy something. So I'm very, very interested to see what that's gonna be. So excited for this damn fight, man. I'm ready for Mingo to be taken down. What a great character, what a great villain he's been. I mean, he's been probably my favorite villain of the whole series so far. And this fight has got to be the most excited I've been for a fight between Luffy and someone in the whole series. It's gonna be so sick. But yeah, let's do character ratings. So MVP, so I think MVP and best moment, I think both of these in these 2 episodes have to go to Bellamy. I just think his character arc was really well done. And even though his actions might be a little irrational, I respect him sticking to his principles. I expect him changing his perspective and who he admires. And him just, I just loved all the background to it. Loved the flashbacks and seeing that from Bellamy, and Luffy respecting that in the end. I think that he completely deserves both of those points. And I don't know if he's actually dead, but either way, whether we get more Bellamy or not, I think it was a really good way to wrap up his arc. Funniest moment, there wasn't really a lot of humor in these episodes. It was definitely more of a serious tone, but the one I will call out, and I mentioned it earlier, is the flashback with Mihawk and Zoro, and Mihawk saying, well, 2 things. Zoro saying that Mihawk broke his swords at one point, but even more so, the funnier part was Mihawk saying, "You can't drink until you've learned clad hockey," right? I thought that was really funny. A really good way to motivate Zoro, but definitely some good humor there. But yeah, I think that'll do it for this reaction and review. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. These 2 episodes were some of my favorite in this arc so far. I'm sure y'all could tell based off how long I've been talking about it. But yeah, I appreciate y'all spending your time with me, watching me. If you guys like this reaction and review, go ahead and drop a like, drop a comment about what y'all thought about Bellamy's arc and starting to get this fight between Doflamingo and Luffy. It's a really exciting time to be watching One Piece, and I'm so excited that you guys are able to see this with me. If y'all want to follow along for more, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, etc., all the YouTube stuff. And yeah, I hope y'all have a really good rest of your day. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.